If there's one thing that you should know about me, it's that I really like Mario Kart. I feel like I started another video with this same intro, but who cares? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go with it. It's a name that is very recognizable in the gaming community. Every game in the series is easily comparable to one another, and anyone can pick up and play with little to no significant learning curve. I like Mario Kart, so much in fact that I dedicated this entire channel to playing and making videos about Mario Kart. So far, I've only really talked about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but I think it's time I turn to another game in the series. I'd say it is one of the most influential games to modern Mario Kart, but it is also my favorite. I'm sure you read the title of this video, but if for some reason you didn't, this video is about Mario Kart Wii. So the concept of Mario Kart is, it's pretty simple. You throw Mario and friends into karts and make them race with wacky items and gimmicks, and bada bing, bada boom, you have a Mario Kart. It's realistically just Mario Party on wheels. Mario Kart Wii is the 6th entry in the series, and if you ask me, it was the start of Mario Kart having a consistent feel between each game. Before Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart DS, the games felt very slippery and wacky when you would take any kind of turn, almost like you're driving on slicks of oil. I can't say that this would make any of the older games less enjoyable than the modern games, but it is almost a night and day experience. I realistically prefer the newer games and how they control, but that's just me. Turning in most racing games is a pretty simple thing. You press the button or tilt the control stick on the controller in the direction you want to go. In older Mario Kart games, you suffer from ultimate understeer, especially while drifting, and this makes turning a much more involved process than what you would experience in games like Mario Kart Wii. Anyways, that's enough about handling. Now, I would like to turn to the things that really make Mario Kart Wii a really fun game. Starting with the tracks. Mario Kart Wii has a total of 32 racing tracks and 10 battle courses. Half of each are retro tracks and courses brought back from previous games in the series. While Mario Kart DS was the first game in the series that introduced retro tracks, I think that my favorite selection of retro tracks was in Mario Kart Wii. The retro battle courses were pretty solid, but I think that the few courses that were introduced in Mario Kart Wii were significantly more memorable to me. The few that I remember enjoying most were Delfino Pier, Chain Chomp Wheel, and Funky Stadium. I didn't realize until I went back to play Mario Kart Wii for this video, but your options for what kinds of battles you can do are pretty limited. I know that most people don't play Mario Kart for the battles, but it is the part of the game that has the least amount of variety. The two kinds of battles you can play in this game are Balloon Battle and Coin Runners. Both are fun to play in their own right, but in comparison, racing has Grand Prix, Versus, and Time Trial. Additionally, Versus races can be played as a solo or team race. And in time trials, you may play against a ghost, whether that is the ghost that you set from previous time trial or a staff ghost that was created by a Nintendo employee. Racing and winning against a set amount of staff ghosts will unlock carts or characters that can't be unlocked by playing the races, or can be unlocked faster or easier with winning time trials. If you didn't know, before Mario Kart 7 standardized the coin unlock system, Mario Kart Wii unlocked carts, characters, and tracks by completing specific Grand Prix. Some of the unlocks were significantly more of a challenge than others, and felt more rewarding than just grinding coins in Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe for a gamble at what you may unlock next in the late game. I for one find this less satisfying than the challenge-based unlocks where you feel like you earned the character. You feel like what you did mattered and that it had an impact on your Mario Kart Wii save file. So Mario Kart Wii, it's a pretty good game. No, actually, you know what? Mario Kart Wii, it's a great game. So I have now talked a bit about Mario Kart Wii, but let's get into some of the things specific about this game. Mario Kart Wii was the only game in the series to use a license system. When you first boot up the game, you have the option to select a license that acts as a save file where up to 4 people can have their own profiles. Each profile is associated with a Mii, and it's just kind of a fun thing. I like it. On the license, you will see the Grand Prix listed in a grid with each cup and kart class along the X and Y axes. When you complete a cup in the top 3 places, you will get a little square in the corresponding space that is either bronze, silver, or gold. Getting gold in a few Grand Prix will unlock a card or character. You aren't going to unlock something after every cup, but it is frequent enough that it feels like your effort is justified. There are a total of 12 characters that are available when you first start the game, and an additional 14 you are able to unlock. The most difficult character in the game to unlock can be alternatively unlocked by just owning Super Mario Galaxy and having a save file on your Wii for it, making unlocking Rosalina easy by just having good taste in games. There are a total of 9 carts and 9 bikes available from the start, and an additional 9 carts and 9 bikes available to unlock. None of these are overly challenging to get, but as a kid, I struggled with unlocking everything in the game, not because the game is hard, but because I'm just kind of bad at video games. While researching for this video, I found out that this is the only game in the series where you are able to perform a wheelie on a bike. Strangely enough, this was not carried over to Mario Kart 8 or 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart 7 just didn't have bikes, which seems like a downgrade to me, but whatever. In addition to bikes and wheelies, Mario Kart Wii was the first game in the series to introduce a trick system, where if you press a button on the D-pad while going off a jump or a ledge, you will do this cool little animation that upon landing will grant you a boost, kind of like when you exit a drift. When coming back to play this game, I forgot how all over the place the controls were. When you do a jump boost in this game, you can take off and fly in every which way on the track. It's cool, but it's also not so cool when you're trying to win gold medals for every Grand Prix. Something else that is not so cool is that the item balance in this game is absolute chaos. You may think that the item balance in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is unfair. Mario Kart Wii is like the Dark Souls of item balancing. This game introduced 3 new items into the Mario Kart series, one of which I don't believe actually made a return. The Mega Mushroom, the POW Block, and the one that didn't return was the Thunder Cloud. I don't think it's a controversial opinion within the Mario Kart community, but I hate the Thunder Cloud, and I think it is probably the worst item in the series. I know that the blue shell is the real friendship ender here, but the Thunder Cloud wants me to tomahawk my controller into the screen. It's not fun, it's not helpful, and it's probably the worst game of Hot Potato adapted to a video game. Don't at me. However, what isn't a bad game of Hot Potato, though, is the control options. Mario Kart Wii has the most options for usable controllers in any Mario Kart game ever. Mario Kart 8 may have a lot of control options, but I think that Mario Kart Wii has the ultimate controller compatibility with the GameCube controller. It was, of course, very common for games on the Wii that weren't tied to motion controls exclusively to have the option to play with a GameCube controller, and you know what? I think that's pretty neat. Good on you, Nintendo. I've made it this far in writing this video, but I haven't explicitly said why I like this game so much. It may or may not be a surprise, but I really like this game because it was the first Mario Kart I played. And sure, I might have enjoyed the games that were released around Mario Kart Wii, such as Mario Kart DS and Double Dash, but those games I didn't play to the same length as Mario Kart Wii. Double Dash I never really completed 100% until last year, and DS I just didn't play often. Why play the portable Mario Kart when I can play the beefier console Mario Kart? This, of course, was my kid brain thinking that the console game was ultimately better than the handheld Mario Kart, but didn't really have any basis other than the DS struggling with its pixelated graphics for this game. Mario Kart Wii hasn't really aged the best when it comes to its visuals, but it also isn't awful. It's not really fair to criticize the graphics as, you know, it was a 2008 game released on a 2006 console that was particularly underpowered, and the Wii wasn't particularly forward-thinking with HD graphics in mind, but for a 480p experience, it was okay. Lastly, Mario Kart Wii was the first in the series to have a thorough online multiplayer experience. This game came with the option to download the Mario Kart channel to your Wii's main menu. You could view leaderboards, play tournaments, and race against ghosts of other players. The service has long since been shut down, but a dedicated group of players still play Mario Kart Online using the fan-operated servers that are running to this day. I really like the time that I had with Mario Kart Wii. It's fun, frustrating, wacky, and sometimes completely unfair. But it's Mario Kart. I love these games, and I think that without Mario Kart, I might not be as interested in video games as I am today. It's a very cliched thing to say, but Mario Kart is one of my top games I enjoy. It might not be my favorite game of all time, but it's probably one of the games I have the most time spent playing. I think Mario Kart is at its best when it's wacky and chaotic. This game fits both of those pretty well. I think I will always see this game positively, and even more than games that are newer and improved. I'm mostly upset that this game doesn't have a single player like Mario Kart DS did, but for a time when the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection was live, there was a challenge mode that would be frequently updated until the service ended in 2014. I never actually played it, but I imagine it was pretty good. I miss the time that I spent playing this game when I was a kid. The Wii was probably my favorite console before the release of the Switch, which on all accounts is a better and more fun console to play. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was released about 7 years ago, and Mario Kart Wii was released 16 years ago. I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I've built a channel around it, but Mario Kart Wii will live on as my favorite Mario Kart game. Hi there! If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the video. I kind of went aimless with writing this video, but I hope I got my point across that I like this game. Probably my favorite in the series, and maybe even Miyamoto's magnum opus. I'm just kidding you. Other than that, I'm hoping that I can get more videos out more often, as I don't really upload much, as I'm just always tired and don't have time during the day to come up with ideas, write scripts, and record footage to edit, and blah blah blah. I could have made this video longer and more in-depth, but I don't want to risk boring you with over-talking off your ear about why I think this is a great game. Now to end this video, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. See you then.